Now let's bring in judiciary correspondent Celestina Area, who joins me live from the Supreme Court in Abuja. Thank you for joining us on the news at this time. What's the latest you have as regards the Adamawa governorship appeal today?
Well, the appeal filed by the SDP has been withdrawn because, according to the counsel representing candidates of the SDP and the SDP, they said that they scored just 6,000 votes and they had appealed on grounds of substantial non-compliance with the Electoral Act. But getting the hint from the court and understanding how busy the court is, and they've not been able to prove their case, it's in that light they decided to withdraw the appeal. So when the appeal was withdrawn, the court subsequently struck it out. So now it's left with the appeal filed by the APC that hasn't been heard by the Supreme Court. So when hearing comes up, the court will probably adjourn for judgment or deliver its judgment almost immediately. So it's not yet Uhuru for the governor. He still has the appeal of the APC to tackle.
All right, let's quickly turn our attention to the Dean of the Faculty of Law, who was granted bail for 2 weeks to enable him undergo an optical surgery. How sure are we that he will be able to, recover and come back to continue the case in just 2 weeks?
Well, his counsel, a senior advocate of Nigeria, made a case for him that he has glaucoma and he cannot see with one side of his eye, that he needed to undergo an operation. And the court said that although the application for bail he filed is not ripe for hearing, because the counsel to the defendant, which is the dean, filed a further and better affidavit which was not served on the prosecution. And the prosecution needed to see their processes so they can properly respond. Because of the health issues the counsel to the dean had placed before the court said, okay, yes, I would use my discretion to grant him bail. And the bail is for 2 weeks, and he perfects his bail conditions, which is the bail bond of 250 million naira, he should be released to his counsel, which is the senior advocate. So the senior advocate has a duty to produce him in court on the 26th of January, where his trial will continue. But we had other senior advocates who were also in court, who had relatives who had undergone this surgery. They had pleaded with the court for more time so he could recuperate after the surgery. But the court said 2 weeks is to undergo the surgery. If he comes back on the 26th, he would not have to stand. He can just sit down, provided he can listen and understand the proceedings. So he'll be just fine. But we recall that the professor was arraigned on Monday by the ICPC on the 4-count charge of sexual harassment, alleged sexual harassment of some of the students. And prior to that, he was suspended by his university, where a panel was set up to pry into his activities or the allegations raised against him by some students. They went as far as protesting the female law students in the Faculty of Law of the University of Calabar. They went as far as protesting. But also we recall that this issue against the professor is not a new one. It started in 2015, where a student has accused him of rape in 2015. But in that very instant, the student was not able to prove a case. We know the status of limitation when it comes to proving rape cases. He went to court, and the court declared him innocent. So he was recalled to the university early last year, where issues of all this sexual harassment came up again. But the university on its part tried to look for a way to sanitize the institution by the people that he has stopped from graduating, conducted mop-up exams, supplementary exams for them, and was also asked to return 3 million naira, which he collected from students, for selling law journal, a journal that he did not publish. So these were the cases that led to his suspension.
From this story, if you can hear me clearly, but because of our time, we'll come back to that later. TVC News Judiciary Correspondent Celestina Area live for us in Abuja. Thank you for joining us at this time.